a liberal college just to figure out what it was like to go through a liberal education. I can't imagine investing 4 years of my time just to drive myself crazy. But one of our steering committee members recommended her, and I went online, I saw her videos. She's a phenomenal lady. She's also got a book coming out shortly. There's a young lady, her daughter over there, who has some flyers about Barbara from Harlem. I'd like to very much bring her up, and please give a warm round of applause for Barbara from Harlem, who came up from New York City today. Please give her a very warm welcome.
What a wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank all of you for just being here, and Pat and Kat, she's wonderful, and Michael for extending such a wonderful invitation. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And let me tell you something. You saw me sitting over here, right? When you reach my tender age, you don't usually like our music. This music was so good, I didn't want to move. It was so good. I know I didn't want to get up and go to the other side. You know, this was so unusual. This was music with a real, true message. That's what I liked about it. See, I don't like foolishness and nonsense. But I could sit here and tolerate that because it was truth. How many of you in here love the United States of America? Do you love your country? All right. Well, let me tell you, when he was singing about the warrior, that's what you are today. That's what America needs today. Warriors, not those on the sidelines. You heard about the Common Core. You know what's going on with the immigration. We have a president that seems to be deaf when it comes to the voices of we the people. So what do we have to do? We have to fight for our freedom. Fight for the young people to have a better future than we can see right now. My message to you today, all of you who love this country, is don't give up. Don't give in. And don't give another inch to a liberal. We have seen, without compromising and trying to be nice, what they have done to our country. Every foundational institution they're trying to destroy. You know, here in Boston, you have a very rich history. Boston was founded in, I think, 1630. When the Puritans came over here, they wanted to make this city an example, a godly example to the world. Now, it is our responsibility to think about that strong tradition of Boston and do everything within our human power to get it back on track. We see we have lost our moral compass, and what has it produced? Across America, at least 40% of our babies are born to a single-headed household. And in the black community, it's even worse. It's 72.3%. We're filling up the prisons. And every day walking in urban America, you have to jump over or go around the memorials. It's time for the warrior in every patriotic American to come out, to stand up, and fight for their country. You know, it does my heart good to see young people, because we need to pass values and strength on to those coming behind us. They deserve what we've enjoyed. They deserve better than where we have it now. So let's do our part for such a time as this. We are still here, breathing God's air. Let's fight for our young people. Let's give them the freedoms and the liberties that we've enjoyed. Pretty soon you're going to be paying your taxes. I know. Sad note. But every one of you that works, needs a special applause, because you make this country work. And a lot of times I feel that the working class is being worked over because our government is just out of control. I'm so glad that this forum today included immigration, Common Core, a lot of things that we need to focus on. You know, I talk to a lot of people, and some of them say, well, what's the use? Well, the use is America. The use is, this is the United States of America, the best nation, the best country the world has ever seen. We are exceptional. I don't care what they say in Washington. I know we are exceptional. Listen, as a black person, there's no place on earth I have more opportunities and freedom any other place in the world. I have the opportunity to go to school free. Many countries don't have that. I've had the opportunity to start businesses. Many countries I couldn't have done that. I've never had to go to a little creek to take a bath. Regardless if I was poor or not, I always had running water. So if people don't appreciate America, I don't care what color you are, and you really need to pack your bags and get out. Yeah. Period, simple, go.
Assimilate!
He said, what's right? He said, too late.
No, assimilate.
Yeah, right. And you know, Pat was telling you about my experience in college. I just graduated in 2006. I wanted to see for myself what liberal professors teach. They're not teaching those who are going to school on taxpayer dollars. They're not teaching them to read and write and think. They're teaching them how to be victims. They're teaching them to hate America. But I did go there, but I harassed the liberals just every time I wrote a paper. I wrote papers, "In God We Trust." And you know they didn't like that. I wrote papers, "Death by Deliberate Design," and I destroyed Al-Qaeda with my words. And I meant to do it. But it is a trip for our young people. So I'm always enthused when I see young people who have their heads screwed on right, coming out to something like this, letting people know that they love their country. In spite of what's being said, they love their country. And I applaud all of you. But my message today is to those of you who are going to participate in this election process coming up. You know, your candidate may not be the nominee. Don't stay home. Don't get angry. Don't say, well, I wanted XYZ and they have XPL. Get up off your couch, go out there and vote, because if you don't vote, you're voting for the other side. And what I see on the other side are Marxists, liberals, socialists, secular humanists, and garbage that we don't need in high offices.
Yeah.
Now, Boston is noted for this historical contribution to America. And it's time for Boston to take the lead in getting rid of those liberal leeches that are draining us, that are destroying our values, that don't care about the traditions that made this country great. And Boston, lead us. Get rid of those liberals. Lead us. Show us how it's done. Lead us to victory in 2016. Victory in our local elections. Victory in our school boards. Victory, victory, victory. Lead us, Boston. First school was started right here in Boston. Rich history. No need to let the liberals take it over. They've reigned here long enough. That's where we got John Kerry from. Yeah, boo, double boo, boo. I did read that book, Unfit to Command, or whatever it was, by the Swift Boat Vets. And you know, they didn't lie, because he would have sued them. He's not fit even for the Secretary of State position, because they don't honor America. They are more friendly toward the enemies and the real nuts of the world. Liberals are always talking against America being having nukes, but yet and still they'll sit down with Iran and try to come to some compromise with somebody who doesn't even care about you. And they don't care about the American people. So we need to get rid of these people. Boston, lead us. Lead us to start electing conservatives, constitutionalists, and people with some moral standings. Lead us. You've led this nation before, and you can do it again. But it takes due diligence. It takes due diligence. Know who you're voting for, and just give us a good example, because America needs to be cleansed of some of these people who don't believe that the Judeo-Christian values upon which this nation was built are important, and they need to be retired.
God bless you!
Period. So that's my message. And I just pray that all of us will get up and get on the battlefield and fight for the freedoms, fight for the liberties that are ours. They were given to us by our Creator, and we cannot let man or female take them away from us. And that's what they will do if you just watch CNN. Warriors, are you a warrior today? Are you going to fight for your country? You love the liberties and the freedoms, and you know they don't come free. They come at a price. Look at our history. We've had some wonderful heroes and heroines who were willing to give everything. Let's give some time to what's going on, and let's make a difference in America. I say good afternoon to the warriors of Boston and of the United States of America. God bless you, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Do you believe that? Yes.
Fantastic. Woo. What a speech. What a speech.
I think somebody just suggested you run for president. Barbara from Harlem, please give her a warm round of applause. Phenomenal. I believe she has a book coming out soon. Again, you can get a flyer from her daughter. If you want to see more of that, you can also catch her on YouTube. She's phenomenal. Actually, I just had somebody ask if she could come up to New Hampshire, so I'll talk to her in a little bit. First, one or two other announcements. We're going to be concluding our straw poll in 5 minutes, so please get over there and do that. Vote if you haven't yet. Remember, there's one for Democrat, one for Republican, and I think somebody screwed up and put Jeb Bush under the Democrat side, so whatever.
No, that's not a
It's not a
screw-up.
mistake, I'm being told. Okay, sorry.
That's not a mistake.
We also have T-shirts for sale. These for 1 for 10 or 2 for 15, and our ones from prior years, 1 for 5 or 3 for $10. We also have a T-shirt vendor over there, an information vendor over there, and of course Mike Eisenberg. We also will be accepting donations over there. This isn't something that we get funded. You know, we don't get any Koch brother checks. I do see a big blank check over there, which brings me to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Geoff Dhiel. He was first elected in 2010 as a state representative from the 7th Plymouth District. He was honored in 2011 by the State Legislative Leadership Foundation as an emerging leader. He served as an alternate delegate on the 2012 GOP National Convention. Let's see, he was born in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. They taught him the value of his parents taught him the value of hard work, education, and honesty. He's an Eagle Scout, graduated from Lehigh University with a double major, worked in advertising and television. He and his wife, Kathy Jo, have 2 adorable children. I've seen them. They are very, very adorable. He was, for a while, he worked as an account executive, Poignant Signs. And he's also assisted his wife, a small business owner herself. So he's very familiar with how bad the government can be on business. Besides being a representative, Geoff and his wife are very active in their community and civic organizations and business organizations, including he's also a member of the local Boy Scout Council. In 2014, he was an important voice and activist for the Tank the Gas Tax efforts, where our legislators had told us that no, they don't need to vote on tax increases, they could just make it happen all the time. And Representative Dhiel, as well as a handful of other people, led the effort to get that turned back. Geoff Dhiel. Give him a warm round of applause.
All right, thank you very much for having me here. What a great crowd. And how do I follow all the acts that have been up here? This is amazing. So almost 2 years ago, a small grassroots group decided to take on Beacon Hill and stop automatic gas tax hikes. In fact, I think there's a hearty crew of them right there with some signs. Yes, exactly, a lot of great workers. But I was told by the insiders up there not to work on the ballot question. I was told it was going to be a career ender. And we were told that polling said no one cares about taxation without representation. But standing with you here today, yeah, I couldn't have been prouder to prove them all wrong, and that was all because of the work that you did and your voting in November. So thank you for that. You know, it just proves that in a state where the fight to stop taxation without representation began, patriotic civil engagement is alive and well. And just like the Minutemen back in 1773, we faced a well-financed and well-organized opponent. They even used our own tax money against us. I don't know if you guys know this, but Mass DOT tried to make employees work against the ballot question. And yeah, exactly, boo. Despite being outspent 31-1, these modern-day sons of liberties that are standing here, all of you who worked on this thing, repealed taxation without representation, and we were recognized just a few weeks ago nationally by winning a trophy for being the best ballot question in the country. That's actually a Poly Award, and if you guys want to afterwards, I can take some pictures with it. That's a national award for being the best ballot question of the year. Windy. Unfortunately, the war continues, and now the same people that are trying to stick us with the automatic gas tax hikes want to bring the Olympics here to Massachusetts. So I'm a sports fan. I stayed up till the 14th inning last night. I tried to make it to the end of the Red Sox game. Anybody make it to the end last night? Okay. But I don't believe our tax dollars should be used to fund the Olympics. Do you guys believe that? We're told by the same people who wanted more money out of our wallets that we're supposed to trust them that no tax money will be needed to backstop these games. They want to go for the gold, but they want to go for the gold that's in your pockets. They say that the taxpayer money won't be needed as insurance for overruns, even though every Olympics since 1960 has been over budget with an average overrun of 179%. Well, I'm not ready to give them a blank check. Are you? Here's the blank check that they're asking for, right? So you want to give them that blank check? I don't either. So I'll pass that message on. But after pressure from the public, they now admit that there should be a ballot question about the Olympics, but they want to write the question and they want to control the process.
No! Absolutely not.
So we can't rest on past successes. We need to keep fighting to protect our wallets. Right after we won the ballot question, Beacon Hill insiders decided it was time for a pay raise for legislators. Did you guys hear about that? These are the same legislators that didn't want to have to take a vote on tax increases. But I said no, and for 2 months I attended every informal session and blocked the raises. When the speaker wanted to be speaker for life, you guys know about that? It was my amendment to stop him. Unfortunately, there's too many votes on the other side on that. But Beacon Hill never stops coming up with ways to tell us how to live our lives and take more money out of our wallets. And that's why I need you to help out. Are you going to continue the fight with me? 2 weeks ago, the group that worked on the ballot question formed a group called the Massachusetts Taxpayers Best Ally Pack. And we need you to be part of that team. So I'm going to be collecting email addresses over here. The gentleman with the yellow pad and I are going to be collecting email addresses so that you can get the Beacon Hill report, because you need to know who sponsored the bills to allow illegals to get driver's licenses. Do you want to know that? you need to know who voted to make Speaker Dhiel Speaker for life. And you need to know who is voting to raise your taxes. So will you help me? All right, we've already proven we're a force that can take on the establishment and win. So let's score some more victories. You can visit my website, geoffdhiel.com, and again, come over here to sign up to be part of the team, and also take pictures with the Ballot Question Award. And thank you very much for having me here, fellow patriots. God bless you, God bless Massachusetts, and God bless these United States of America.
Thank you very much, Geoff. Woo. Well, it's been a great lineup of speakers. And last but not least, Matt O'Brien, Supreme Leader of the Greater Boston, I'm sorry, no, Worcester Tea Party, the Greater Worcester Tea Party.
The coup hasn't gone through yet, Patrick. How's everybody doing out there? Can you hear me? Do I need this thing? Yeah, this wind thing is good. Alright, we're going to talk real simple, and I'm going to probably cut this down because we're running a little late on time. But I want you guys to understand that it's really very simple. I'm here to talk to you about the hard work of citizenship. Citizenship is not a spectator sport. Now, I understand this is probably the least sexy topic that there could possibly be, so I brought candy. Look out! I know John wants most of it. Now, we know that we can win. We know that they can outspend us 30-1, but we can collect the signatures, we can inspire the voters, and we can pass question 1. We know that they can spend billions of dollars to create this Common Core, but we can stop it in our cities and towns. Yeah, I'm not being picked up by the Red Sox anytime soon. We know that if we work together and do the hard work that's required, we can advance our positions and our beliefs and get them codified in law. We know this because we've done it, and we've done it here in Massachusetts. Every time I hear Massachusetts being called the bluest of blue states, it is like fingernails on a chalkboard to me. I know hundreds of people who have opted out, who sit at home and curse at the TV from the comfort of their easy chair. Our job as activists is to get our brothers and sisters with us out in the streets, standing up for what we all know is right. I'm running out of candy. Oh, that's a good shot. You guys got to pay attention. Now, all of us know that there are hundreds of things that we need to work on. Whether we're talking about Common Core, whether we're talking about civil rights, whether we're talking about the NDAA, whether we're protesting to protect our taxes and make sure that we are engaging in sound fiscal policy, whether we are preventing them from inflicting us with Big Dig number 2, the Olympic boondoggle. I know that Massachusetts is worth fighting for. And I can promise all of you that in Worcester, we know that Massachusetts is worth fighting for. And we know how to do it, and we can do it, and we will do it. Thank you. God bless America. God bless Worcester. God bless Boston. God bless Massachusetts.
Thank you very much, Matt. From Worcester. Oh, this has been one of these windy, blowing days. And also, just a little history on this. I didn't actually get the permit for this until April 1st. Okay, so I'm going to chant this because I've been saying this for so long this winter. What do we want? Global warming. When do we want it? Now! I am so sick of this winter. Delaying meetings. 2 weeks ago, there was 4 to 6 inches on this common. They were telling me I may not be able to hold this. It was insane. We were looking at the State House steps. We have some good representatives that we deal with. I actually asked Representative Lyons looking at holding up the Boston Common. First off, let's also recognize some of the political figures here. Representative Geoff Dhiel, let's give him a round of applause as one of our speakers. Thank you very much, Geoff. We also have Carolyn Canigliero. She was here earlier. I don't know if she's still here. She had run for a state rep seat. Wasn't successful because a certain former governor endorsed her opponent. But she didn't let that slow her down. She got up, ran again, and this time, just this past week, she was elected selectman. We also have Brad Wyatt here, who ran for state rep. All those people who step up and do things, we have to applaud loudly. Thank you. Julianne Cummings is here. She's the one actually collecting signatures for Common Core. She stood up and decided to run for school board. We need to take back our government. You can either run for something, which is very involved, and for those who do it, we need to thank them profusely. On the other hand, though, when they are running, we need to support them. So if you're not going to run for something, you need to support people who do. You also need to make your voices heard on Beacon Hill to let them know that we don't approve of what they're doing. Common Core is one of those huge issues. April 15th from 9 to noon on Beacon Hill. You should be up there and letting your legislators know that you do not approve of Common Core. Okay, we have the presidential straw poll and Deval Patrick most miserable failures list here. I'll just read the top 3 for each. Let's see. Presidential straw poll. I'm not too surprised at this. Okay, Rand Paul came in with leading the pack by a pretty hefty margin. Ted Cruz was second. I'm sorry, wait a minute. Yeah, second. And third was Scott Walker. A bit farther back in the pack.
Really?
On the Democrat side, we didn't seem to have many people voting Democrat, which surprised me. We did open it up so you could vote, be a Democrat and vote twice. But we had Jeb Bush won the Democrat straw poll, followed by Elizabeth Warren with Hillary right behind her. That's a little scary. Then as far as the most miserable things Deval Patrick's done to the state of Massachusetts, and I agree wholeheartedly with this, was the DCF situation of Justina Pelletier. If you're not familiar with that, Google Free Justina. The family's still suffering through it. I want to give you guys an update. She was in surgery last week. She's still in a wheelchair. This is something that our government did to her. It wasn't on my behalf. It wasn't on your behalf. You need to let your people, your government people know that you do not approve of such things. The taking of our children should have had us all with pitchforks in front of the State House. There were a few rallies where we had thousands of people out there protesting such things, but we need to have more people getting out there and making their voices heard. Second was the Health Connector website, that's not too surprising, only $1 billion down that rat hole. I'm a little surprised at this, that the medical marijuana was number 3. Didn't know that was quite a problem for him. Number 4 was the Gaming Commission, and number 5 was the MBTA, which number 5 being the MBTA, I don't see that. I think that'd be much higher on the list. But again, we need to make our voices heard. We need to be involved in our government. We need to stop this government intrusion into our lives. It just has to stop. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. It's been a great day. Glad to see you all on such a windy day. Again, you can visit. There's t-shirt vendors, there's book vendors. We are selling t-shirts over here as well. We're accepting donations. We did have some costs associated with this. And I thank you very much and have a great day. Thank you. Wait. I have one more thank you. First of all, I do want to thank Jordan Page for coming out. One big round of applause for him. A huge round of applause also for all of our speakers, and also for our sound men, Paul and Steve Togas. Steve's actually the person who arranged for Jordan to come out here. We need to give them a big thank you. And again, thank you for all our speakers. They were phenomenal. I have had many compliments on each and every one of them, and I thank them all for coming out. Have a great day, everybody.